Okay, so today we're going to start chapter number 7, which is about classes and objects. It's a very important concept, it's one of the most important concept in programming. Okay, almost all big softwares are OOP based. OOP means object oriented programming based. Okay, so this is one of the most important topic in this course. So I suggest you guys to be very careful and listen to me carefully. So let me tell you a motivation behind. Well, this is one of the motivations of learning the OOP. That let's just say that you want to develop a GUI. GUI means this thing, okay? This window type thing. The proper name is GUI. 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 GUI means graphical user interface. So you have different buttons. You have a field to enter, you have check boxes, you have radio boxes. So all of these things are GUI. So this is also a, well, let's just say there are many forms. This is also a GUI. Okay, so GUI is graphical user interface. So one of the methods to make GUI is using the help of object oriented programming. Why? Because the code of GUI is very big. It's very big. So to make it manageable, we use OOP concepts. Okay, this is just one motivation of learning the OOP. Okay, almost all the big softwares which have a lot of lines of code are written in the form of OOP. Okay, any question in this? What is OOP and why do we need it? So OOP is object-oriented programming that is helps in managing big codes or long codes. Okay, and this is one example for it. Any question in this? We'll talk more about it, what I mean by objects. Okay, guys, any question? So now we have two things. One thing is called class, and there's another thing called object. It's very important to understand what is class and what is object. It's not difficult, but it's important to understand. Okay, so let me start. So class is a blueprint or a template. Okay, it's a template to create an object. So it should not be and, it should be and. It's a template to create an object. Okay, so now what is object? Object is a member or an instance of class. Okay, instance of class. So object represents real life entities. Now let's take an example and try to understand the concept of object and classes using this example. So here I have this class of dog. Okay, here I have the class of dog, and these are the objects. Okay, so objects. So what do I have in the class of dog? There are some things called properties of a class, and there are some methods of a class. So let's talk about them step by step. So what is class? Okay, don't look here. Okay, don't look here. Class is just a blueprint, a template. So I have a class dog, and I am expecting it to have the properties and the methods. The properties are: what is the breed of a dog, what is the size of a dog, what is the age of a dog, what is the color of a dog. Okay, so all these things are called the properties of class dog. And the methods are the actions that can be performed in this class. So this class dog can perform eat, it can perform sleep, it can perform sit, it can perform run. So these are the methods that this class can perform, and these are the properties of this class. So when I instantiate this class dog, I have one like this, and which has these properties. Look at this. The properties are that the breed is Neapolitan and the size is large, the age is 5, the color is black. Then I have another instance of it, and where the breed is Maltese, size is small, the ear is 2, age is 2, and the color is white. And then I can also have another instance. So you can see on all those instances, they have these properties which are all defined, which were defined in the class. All these properties are also the properties of the objects. So these are the objects, and this is the class. So this is a blueprint or a template, and these are the instances of class. Okay, so let's try to understand it with one more example. Let's say you have this car class. Okay, so what do you have? The car has a color, it has a model, has a size, and it can start, it can stop, and so on and so forth. So once you have a template of a car, so this is the template of a car, any car, okay, any general car. But then you make a instance of this class, an object of this class. Let's say accord. So you have, this is an object of the type class, and this is another object, Tesla car, of the type car, and this is another object which is a car Camry of type car. Okay, so all of them have the property of color, model, size. They have the methods of start and stop, and this is how we differentiate between the color, the class, and the objects. So tell me if you have any question regarding the difference between class. So the class is a blueprint or a template to create an object. So all these objects are created from this class. Okay, an object is just an instance of a class. Okay, so tell me if there's any question in this. Yes, properties and characteristics are one and the same thing. Sometimes people say characteristics, sometimes people say properties. So tell me if you have any question about what do I mean by class and what do I mean by object. Guys, any question? Okay. So object. So now that we know what do I mean by object and what do I mean by class, now I need to tell you guys that objects have properties and methods. So let's see. So here I have this object which was created. This is an object of type dog class. So this is a type of it, and it has these properties. Okay, these are the properties of an object, and these are the methods. We also have the methods. So these are the methods that are associated with this object. Okay, so methods are the action. So sometimes the properties are called state, and sometimes they are called attributes of object, and sometimes the methods are called actions or the behavior. Okay, so these properties and methods have different names. Sometimes the people call them actions, sometimes people call them behavior, and the properties sometimes people call them state or the attributes. Any questions so far? So now that we know what I mean by, so there, let me review it, let me recap it. So we have done classes, and then we have talked about objects, and then we have talked about the properties and the methods of an object. Okay, is everybody clear about all these things? So let's say a few words. The class is a template, and object is an instance of class. Okay, is it difficult or is it easy? MashaAllah. Have we done this object-oriented programming before? Okay. Now let's see how can we define a class in Python. Okay, like we used to have def for functions. This is how we define a class in Python. That's it. Remember, the functions is defined as this, and this is how we define the class. And the code, our code goes here. This is where our code goes. Okay, so once we define the class, look at this. Once we define the class, at the moment, class has no properties and no methods. Okay, we'll do it in the next step. So we have just defined a class dog. And now I need to create the instance of it. Okay, so let's see how do I create an instance. Now let's see how do we instantiate an object. So you can instantiate an object by just this. Remember, your class was class dog, and then you have the pass. Okay, and this is the variable to keep track of the object. So this is the name of the object, and this is the class, and this is the object that you have created. Okay, this is the object that you have created, Tommy. So you have created this thing, the name Tommy. You create this thing by saying, let's say malt equals to dog. Now you have another object. You can create this as chow equals to dog. So now you have three objects: Tommy, malt, and chow. Do you all understand this? Okay, so let's go step by step now. So class starts with a class keyword. So it starts with a class keyword, and which is followed by the name of the class, and then we have the name of the class, and then we have a colon. So we have a keyword class, the name of class, and the colon, and this is how we define a class. Okay, now that we have defined a class, let's instantiate a class. So let's instantiate an object. So to instantiate an object, we just type the class name followed by two brackets, and so we have class name followed by two brackets, and you can assign this to a variable to keep track of the object. So this is the object that we have created. Okay, now if you go and check the data type of Tommy, we have the command type. So the data type is, if I say the type of Tommy, it is a class dog. Okay, and if I print Tommy, look at this. Tommy, the type of Tommy is class dog, and the Tommy is an object. Okay, so let's open Python and see it practically. So let's see, where is my shell? This is my shell. So let's restart the shell. Where is my class? So this is my class. By the way, before I go into the class, let me tell you something here. Let's say if A is 3, and if I say type A, what do I think I'll get? No. Yes, look at this word. Class integer. So this A is also is an object of a class integer. Do you understand? So you can see that A is an object and of a type class integer. So everything is a class, okay? So now let's define a class, and let's say class is dog, and we have nothing in it. We just press F5. So now we have created a class. So now I instantiate class. Now Tommy is an object. If I say type Tommy, look at the answer. Look at the answer. The class is dog. Tommy has a type of class dog. A has a type of class integer. Yes, it's an object. Tommy is an object. Any more questions? Important thing is that you understand that the object has a type dog class and A has a type integer class. Okay. Similarly, let's just say if I say B equals to 6.5, and if I say type B, what do you think I'll get? Now B is an object. No, B is an object of class float. No, guys. B is an object of class float. No, Asim. No, Saeed. No, Ahmed. Float? Oh, okay. We have discussed this thing that there are three things. One is integer, and examples are 0, 3, -5, 10. And then we have float. Float are decimal numbers. Like 3.3, 4.5, -0.01, 10.113, 3.14. They're all floats and they are integer. And then we have strings. Strings are A, 3, 3.5. Anything like this is a string. Okay? So let me do one more example. Let's say C is SAM. So what do you think the answer will be now? Don't say string. The type is class string. No, Saeed. Okay. Now let's say if I do D equals to 1000. Now if I say type D, what do you think I'll get? No, class float. No. Don't say integer. Say class integer. So the type D is what? What is D? D is an object whose type is class integer. And what is class? Class is a blueprint. Okay. Now whatever the properties. Now let me tell you something. Yes, template. So now let me repeat one thing, and it's really important. So whatever the properties and the methods that are defined in the integer class, let me repeat, whatever the properties and the methods that are defined in the integer class, all those properties and method will also come in the D as well. Look at this. So all the properties of class comes to the properties of object as well. Okay, so let's see. So now we have created a class. We have learned how to instantiate a class. Okay. Now this is the class that we have created. Okay. Now this is not a very interesting class. So we need to add some properties. So let's add some properties that all dot objects should have. There are a number of properties that you can choose from: name, age, color, breed. So let's take only color and the age. So now this was the class that I created without any property. And now look at this. This is how you create a class dog with the properties, color and age. These are the properties. Don't worry about this, okay? Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Just concentrate here. Just concentrate here that you have created a class dog with two properties. One is color and one is age. Just look here, okay? Forget about all this, okay? Now let's talk about this step by step. What is this? What is this init? By the way, what is this init? What is this init? It is a function. And how do we know this is a function? Yes, this def tells us that this is a function init. And remember, the function has the parameters. It has a parameter color and the age and the self. Okay. So let's talk about it. First line, let's talk about it. So the properties that all objects must have are defined in a special method. Now this is a very special method. I just told you guys that the class has properties and methods. Okay, so this is a very special method. We call it init, and we have 2 underscore here and 2 underscores there. Okay, so now you can see that the function now takes 2 arguments after self, color and age, and then it assigns that color to self.color and it assigns the age to self.age. So now you can create a new Tommy object with color and age. And how do I do it? That's it. So now when you create a object Tommy of type class dog, then you need to mention the 2 properties, the color and the age. So here you have defined the class and here you have instantiated instance of a class. Okay, so let's do it using the Python. So I have a dog. So now I want to have the properties, and we define the properties in a very special method called init. So we have 2 properties, color, age, and let's say we also have the height of the dog. And then we say self.color equals to the color. self dot age equals to age, and self dot heigst equals to heigst. And if we save it, we run it. Now we have a class created by the name of dog, which has the property color, age, and height. Now let me create a object Tommy of type dog. Look at this. It expects color, age, and height. When I open the brackets, it says it. So the color is WHITE, let's say white. Let's say the age is 2 years and the height is, let's say, I don't know, let's say 24 inches. Now you have created a Tommy object of class type dog. Okay, so take 1 minute, think about it, and let me know if you have any questions. So read this slide for about 1 minute and let me know if you have any question. Okay, so guys, any question? Yeah, your question is, what is self? What is self? We'll talk about the self next week. Okay, we'll talk about the self next week because it's not very difficult, but I don't want to give you any more new words. So let's just believe what self is. Okay, by the way, let me tell you one thing is this Tommy is going to become self. Okay, and I will show it to you, but we'll talk in more detail about it next week. So self takes the name of the object itself. Self. Just put your name here. Okay. Any more questions? We'll talk more about this self next week. For the time being, just think of self as a variable where the name of the object will come automatically. So let me do one more example. So now that we have defined an object Tommy, now let's access an object attribute. Now I want to know what are the attributes of an object. So for that, look at this. We say Tommy.color, we get black. Tommy.age, we get 3. Okay, so now let me come to can you give us a brief explanation? Yes, I will give you the brief explanation. But before that, I want you to do some examples. And these examples will give you the explanation. Okay, let's do some examples. So we have this our class. This is our class. And this is our idle. Okay, so I want you guys to help me out in all this because this is really interesting. Okay, so let's clear the shell. Now that we have created a class, it has 3 properties: color, age, and height. So let's run this module. So now we have created the class. Now remember this example in your mind. Keep this example in your mind. This example. So you have created an object. So you have created a class dog, okay, which has the properties size, age, and color. And now I'm going to create 3 objects. I'm going to create Maltese. I'm going to create Napolitan. I'm going to create Chow. Choo or Chow? I don't know. So, anyways. So let's see. So let's say the first one is Nepo, and this is the first. Now look at this. It is expecting us color. The color is black, and the age is 2. I forgot the age. The age was 5, and the size is large. The age was 5, and the size is large. Now we have created this Nepo. Okay. Now let's create Maltese. MAL. So it has a type dog. Now what is Maltese? Maltese is also a family of dogs. So the class that it belongs to is a dog. Okay. So we should say class dog, and then we should say the color is white, age is 2, and the size is small. But we have one more dog left, Chow. So let's create the last dog, Chow, of type class. It belongs to a class dog. The color is brown, and the age is 3, and the size is medium. Okay. Now we have, how many objects do we have? Yes, thank you. So how many objects do we have here? 3. And how many classes do we have? 1. Yes. No, we have 1 class. 3 objects and 1 class. Yes, perfect. So now, I want to access the color of a Nepo. I will say Nepo.color. Oh, it's black. And I say Nepo.age. It's 5. Nepo.size. Oh, is the keyword size or what? Height. Okay, height. Nepo.heigst. Height. Start. Look at this. And when I say malt.color, Allahu Akbar, malt.color, white. Getting the point? The malt has the color of white, and the malt has a height of small. You see? I'm getting all this stuff. You see that? Yes, we can see the age. Malt of age is 2. Okay. Now, what was the third? Third was, I think, third was Chow. So let's say Chow.age is 3. Chow.height is medium. Chow.color is brown. So these are the properties. This is how we access the properties. The dot command. The dot. Now let me tell you what self is doing. Look at these three things. Chow.age, Maltage.age, Nepo.age. What is Nepo.age? Nepo.age. Nepo.age. So look at this. Nepo.age, Chow.age, and Mal.age. And after looking at this, look at this. Self.age. So the self actually becomes the class. Sorry. The self is an object itself. Yes, that's the right thing. Now you're getting it. The self becomes an object itself. Very good. Okay, now let's do something interesting. Let's have another class. Let's have class human. Okay, and let's define its properties. Let's say self. We have the age, we have the height of a human, we have the weight of a human, and let's say we have the nationality of a human. Okay, so what I do is, so now I say self dot age is an age. So this age will come here. This age will come here. Okay, and the self dot height is HID height, and self dot weight is the weight, and self dot national is nationality. So let's run it. Now we have run it. Now how many classes do we have here? Now we have the height here. HEIGHT. Okay, this is not a problem. Okay, we don't have to be, these two words don't have to match. Okay, look at this, nationality and national. Okay, they don't have to match. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know what will happen is, you will see, I did okay, let's just put nationality. Okay, because we are doing first time. So now I have created two classes. How many classes do I have? One is human and one is dog. So let's create a class Hassan, Hassan, Hassan. And Hassan is a human, okay? Well, yes. And now look at this. It is expecting me to write the age of Hassan. So Hassan, can you tell me your age? Hassan Omar, can you tell me your age? 21. Yes, perfect. Your height in centimeters? 181, mashallah. And your weight? Oh, mashallah. And you are Saudi. I right? Oh, okay. Let's put Pakistani. Oh, Syria. Now we have created. Now look at. Listen to my words carefully, guys. This is a very important thing. Human is a class. Hassan is a example of a human class. Hassan is an object from who belongs to the class human. Okay. Now let's create another class Sarmad. Now what is Sarmad? Is Sarmad a class dog or class human? What do you think? Yes, he's human class. So he has an age of 37. He has a height of 182. He has a weight of 85, and he is Pakistani. Okay. Let's take one more example. Let's take Nahar. Let's create one more example. Nahar. Sorry about the spelling name. Okay. Okay. Let's say now Nahar is also. Now remember, we have Nahar is an angel. Okay, I think we need to. Well, the problem is we only have two classes, dog and human. There's no angel class here. So Nihar, you have to come in the humans. So now, guys, this is important. Okay, forget about the fun part. Okay, come to the serious things. Remember, now we have two classes, and we have to choose which class does Nahar belong to. The Nahar belongs to the human class. So when we say human, he has an age of, Nihar, can you tell me your age, please? 21, mashallah. And your height, 175 inches. And your weight, 75 kgs. And your nationality, Saudi, Saudi, Saudi. So look at this. Let's do one more. Isa. Is this right spelling? Isa. Isa also has a membership of class human. So Isa, can you tell me your age? 21. Your height, 170. And your weight, just say anything. Okay, 70. And your nationality, Saudi. So good. MashaAllah. So we have now let me ask you guys few questions here. How many classes do we have here? No, we have two classes, dog and human. Saeed. And so we have, can anyone name, so what are the name of the classes? What are the name of the dog and human? Yes. And now let me ask question number 2. Listen carefully. How many objects do we have of the human class? Four. Yes, we have 4 objects of the class type human. And what are those 4? Let me write a question here. How many objects do I have of the class humans? And what are the name of those objects? Hassan, Sarmad, Nihar, and Isa. Yes. Now let me ask third question. How many objects do we have in the class dog? Or how many objects are of type class dog? Right question is this. How many objects are of type class dog? 3. And their name are, let me help you guys here. Chow, yes. Nepo and Malt. Yes, perfect. So now I want to check the age of Sarmad. What do I do? No. I know 37, but I want to check. Yes, I'm asking the question. I want to see what is the command to see the age of a Sarmad? Sarmad dot age. Perfect. And now I want to see the age of Isa. Isa dot age. Yes. Now I want to see the nationality of Nahar. How do I see it? Yeah, Nahar dot nationality. Guys, you're writing it short here, but in the exam, write complete. Okay, Asim. Okay, Isa. Okay, Suhaib. Okay, Hassan. Okay, Saeed. Write complete. Okay, in the exam. Don't do it like that in the exam. Yes, we have less time here, so no problem. But in the exam, do it properly. So now you can see. So now you can see. So do you see the differences of object and class and the properties now? Okay, can we ask about the classes? What do you mean by that? Like, how many classes do we have here? Okay, yes, type. The command is type. Okay. Hassan dot class. This problem here. Okay, the right command is type dot Hassan. Hassan type is class human. Okay, and the type for Sarmad is, I don't know if it's a dog or what. No, it's human. And the type of Chow is, oh sorry, and the type of what was the spelling? CHOW. CHOW. Okay, I mean, yeah, CHOW. We have to forget about this. Okay, just do this. Okay, let's just create it. The type of Chow is dog. So the Sarmad belongs to a class human, and the Chow belongs to class dog. Okay, guys. So do you understand this? Always keep this figure in your mind. This figure. This is a very important figure. Okay. This slide is a very important slide. Just keep this slide in your mind, and you will have no problem in the classes. And then you have this a way of the way of doing it. Okay, this is a syntax. We have double underscores. Well, guys, that is all from my side. If you have any question, you can ask me now. You're welcome. So, by the way, let me tell you guys, today we only have one method, and the method was init. Next time we have more methods. Okay, then, yes, thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum.